Yo, what's going on, guys? Mush back at it with another video. And you know, for the last couple of years, we've been talking about the Epic Games Store versus Steam, the whole debate. And I know a lot of you guys are not big fans of the Epic Games Store. Free games aside, a lot of you guys say that, there's a lot of features missing from it. But it's been a couple of years, and, they're getting some major releases. Well, one major release just happened, Alan Wake 2, and your boy has been playing the game, and I have a lot of thoughts on it, but I'll get to that at the later portion of this video. What I want to talk about primarily is the Epic Games Store, because, I don't really keep up with a lot of the features and everything like that on EGS. I use EGS very sparingly. I'm gonna be honest with you guys. Like, I don't redeem a lot of the free games because usually the free games they offer, I either own them or I don't have a lot of interest in playing them. I bring them to you guys since you guys like that stuff, and it brings in the engagement. You guys know how this game is played. I live for the engagement, but, no, seriously. Yeah, like, I just don't use the platform that much. Like, I played Control on it when it came out in 2019. I bought the Kingdom Hearts games for a little bit because I was down bad and I really wanted to play Kingdom Hearts in, like, a real way on PC, and I was just like, you know what? I'm gonna just buy these collections on the Epic Games Store. And then I realized, like, they were overpriced, and then I refunded them, and then haven't used it outside of that. I think that's it. I may have also played, like, Shadow Complex on the Epic Games Store, like, way early on. Maybe there was another game or two that I played on EGS, but it's been very sparing, so it's been very sparingly, I should say. But they're coming up with this huge release, Alan Wake 2. I loved Alan Wake back in 2010. I thought that game was fantastic. I played it around the time it came out. I spent like $40 on it just because it went on sale, if I recall, really quickly after release. But you guys get the idea. I played it pretty early on, and I loved it back then. 13 years later, we're getting Alan Wake 2. I'm not bitching and moaning about the fact that the game is an Epic Games Store exclusive, because Epic Games were the reason that the game came to fruition, from what I can understand. They funded the game, they made it happen. Hey, you know what? Credit to you. You can keep it on Epic Games Store, and that's why I've been saying, hey, I don't even think that game is going to be out on Steam, because this is a different kind of deal we're working with here. This is not a third-party exclusivity agreement like it was with FF7, like it was with Dead Island 2, like it was with Metro Exodus. This is a published game by Epic Games. This is like if Fortnite came to Steam. It ain't happening. Alan Wake 2 obviously a little bit different, where they need to make a little bit of a return on that investment. Maybe they'll work with Steam and Valve and put that game on Steam, a year, 2 years down the line. But you look at Kingdom Hearts and I believe those collections, what I can gather is that Epic Games may have had a hand in getting those games ported to PC, and that's why you haven't seen those games be released on Steam, because every other Square Enix game ultimately comes to Steam, but for some reason, Kingdom Hearts just hasn't. I believe it's because EGS, and Epic Games, I should say, had a hand in that, but we're coming up on this huge release in Alan Wake 2, quite possibly the biggest exclusive release in Epic Games history, a published title by the Epic Games Store, by Epic Games themselves. And guys, it is 2023. We're hearing about, ahead of the release of this game, hey, preloads for Alan Wake 2 are going to kick off on October 25th. You know what preloads didn't happen? On what platform it didn't happen? On the Epic Games Store. Because for God knows why reason, Epic Games Store does not have preloads. How is this possible in the year 2023? You are investing millions upon millions of dollars in these timed exclusivity deals, on free games being offered, on, literally publishing and facilitating the creation of a game like Alan Wake 2 that is this big budget release, and you're getting it as an Epic Games Store exclusive. You're using it to promote the storefront. Hey, we are a direct competitor to Steam. We are going to offer you things that Steam is not going to offer you, and you cannot get preloads done? What is going on here? It's one thing when this was 2019 or 2018, whenever EGS initially launched and preloads weren't available. It's been years and years since Epic Games Store has been a thing, and we do not have preloads, such a basic feature that's been available for, what, a decade on other platforms? How is this not available on the Epic Game Store? And it's mind-boggling to me that this has just come into my radar. Like, I knew it wasn't available for a while, but I just assumed that, after a couple years, like, it must be there. It's such a basic feature. Obviously, preloads are there. Like, what, are you kidding me? And we had this release in Alan Wake 2, and you can't even get preloads right for Alan Wake 2. And some of you guys might be like, hey, much ado about nothing. Guys, Alan Wake 2 is an 80-gigabyte game. Yes, it's a shorter game, but it is an 80-gigabyte game that is a sizable install. What if you don't have the greatest internet connection in the world? You gotta wait until midnight of the day that it comes out to start installing Alan Wake 2? How many people are gonna be up until midnight on a Thursday night? Not that many. They're probably going to bed because, people work 9 to 5s, they have school, etc., and they gotta install the game, morning of Friday, or hey, a lot of people wake up and is the first thing they're thinking about installing a game? No, they probably get back to work on a Friday, long week, and then they're like, okay, time to play Alan Wake 2. No, you can't because there wasn't any preloads available and the game can't be installed, or you gotta install it then. And good luck for those of you that are, on your, not the greatest internet connection in the world, because it's a 80 gigabyte install. That's why preloads are a thing that make it as streamlined as possible. And it's wild to me. Like, think about the budget Alan Wake 2 had. It had to be, north of $100 million, I would have to assume. And we're spending north of $100 million to get Alan Wake 2, available on Epic Game Store only and publishing that game. We're spending millions upon millions to get GTA 5. We're spending millions upon millions to get Control as an EGS exclusive, to get Metro, Dead Island, the Saints Row 2022 for some reason. You're spending millions upon millions, but you can't get preloads ready? What are we doing here, Epic Game Store? Like, that is, and the title reads it, it's absolutely embarrassing, it's absolutely pathetic. Like, how is this not a thing? And yeah, like, could Joe Schmo me implement preloads by myself on a storefront? No, but this is Epic Games. They are rolling. They've got so much money, it's not even funny. And I know they just went through a lot of layoffs, and, good luck to all of those people. And I'm sure there's a lot of people in Epic Games that they have they're not attached to the preload side of things. But whoever's involved, and, whether it be the higher-ups, the higher-ups should be like, we should get a very basic feature implemented into our storefront, especially ahead of the release of, by far, the biggest game that has ever dropped on the Epic Game Store exclusively. Even if you look at the timed exclusives, like FF7 it was a delayed release on PC, so that wasn't as big as this. Control isn't as big as Alan Wake 2. Alan Wake 2, phenomenally well received. Game gets killer reviews, and you can't get preloads ready for a release of that stature, of that grandeur, of that magnitude, orders of magnitude higher than anything they've ever released in the past. Like, that is just ridiculous to me. And like, I don't want to say shame on them because, we're talking about video games and preloads. Like, it's not that big of a deal, but just in the context of what we're talking about, PC storefronts, Epic Game Store, trying to be a competitor to Steam, them spending millions upon millions, like, brothers, get preloading working. Like, work on the basic features before you just try to spend your way into getting a bunch of exclusives and offer free games to get people into the storefront, because guess what? That's never going to translate into longevity for a storefront that doesn't even offer basic features like a preload. Like, yeah, you might get people's foot in the door to play Alan Wake 2, but then they realize, this storefront doesn't even have preloads. Are they gonna buy any upcoming game on the Epic Game Store knowing that preloads doesn't exist and they want to play that game day one? Imagine I was to buy, like, a Starfield, if Starfield was available on Epic Game Store, and I had to pick between Epic Game Store and Steam. Yeah, like, I would probably go Steam either way, but you just made that decision way easier for me by not even offering preloads on the Epic Game Store for a game that's north of 100 gigabytes, and that's the thing. Game file sizes are just getting bigger and bigger, and not everybody has this killer internet speed that, like, preloads are just something you gotta offer. Like, it's just mind-boggling to me. Like, I literally got a quote-unquote free copy of Alan Wake 2 because I picked up a new laptop, and they had a promotion going with RTX series GPUs. You were getting Alan Wake 2. And I got a copy of it. I waited until I think it was October 26th to redeem that code finally, and I was like, all right, time to finally redeem this code, connected it to my Epic Game Store account, and I didn't even know, like, preloads were a thing, and I'm just looking at it, I'm like, wait a second, how do I install this game? And then I start Googling, I'm like, how do I preload Alan Wake 2 on the Epic Game Store? And then, like, nothing would come up that was relevant to me, and then I finally realized, oh, the Epic Games Store doesn't have preloads, which is humorous that I wasn't aware that that was the case still to this day because, I cover, PC gaming, but at the same time, I'm usually talking about Steam titles and EGS, we're mainly talking about the free stuff. I'm not really covering sales or anything like that or upcoming games on the context or through the lens of Epic Games, and, yeah, just wild to me, and again, embarrassing on my part for not knowing this, but just insane. Quick thoughts on Alan Wake 2. Yes, I was completely wrong about the PC version, or my worries were completely alleviated. It is a case of, and I saw somebody from Remedy tweet it out, that they wanted to overshoot on the PC requirements and have it run better than what was noted, which, how can you guys blame me? Yeah, my bad that I'm pessimistic towards these things after the year we've had in 2023 with Last of Us, Star Wars Jedi Survivor, Hogwarts Legacy, Wild Hearts, Lords of the Fallen. Need I go on and on? We've been served an absolute crap sandwich of all crap sandwiches when it comes to PC versions this year that I'm sorry my pessimism took over and I was expecting something bad from Alan Wake 2. Alan Wake 2 runs beautifully. The game itself, I'm not as crazy about it as other people. Some of the design choices I think are super head-scratching. I think visually the game is incredible. The atmosphere is incredible, and I always say with a horror game, those are the elements that you really need to nail. The sound design is excellent, and, I still gotta complete the game. I'm still fairly early on. But yeah, I'll get around to finishing it, and then I'll give you guys my full thoughts. But the game is great. It would be nice if I could preload it, but, what can you do? But that'll do it for me. Again, just absolutely head-scratching from my part that preloads weren't available. Hopefully they get it implemented at some point because you're dropping millions upon millions and getting these exclusives and getting these free titles being available, but you can't offer the simplest of simple features like preloading. What the hell is going on there? But that'll do it for me. Again, your thoughts down below, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Peace out. Hey, what's going on, guys? Mush here again. Hope you enjoyed the video. As you guys might know, YouTube's notification system is sometimes a little bit wonky, even if you're subscribed to the channel. Maybe you're not abundantly aware that I uploaded a video. To remedy that situation, make sure you hit the bell notification button. This way, whenever I upload a new video, and I try to upload as consistently as possible, you will be notified directly of the upload, and you can watch it as soon as it goes live. I would really appreciate if you guys hit that button so you can stay up to date with all of the content I'm posting. But as always, guys, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace out.